Hey, it's 2 a.m. and I'm supposed to get up for work in a couple of hours. But instead of going to bed, I'm actually cleaning my apartment because a friend is coming over tomorrow. Um, I'm here like in pain. Because I want to talk about a dream that I had a couple of weeks ago before the vacation. And I don't know why I've been putting off recording this, mostly because I'm lazy and procrastinating. But this is also not a really important thing, so doesn't matter that much. Anyway, what better time than now at 2 a.m. Um, so, oh, where do I start? So, first of all, the reason I'm here is because the reason I'm in pain is because I want to draw the layout of the place where the dream uh, happened, where the dream took place. Um, and that is because it is a place that I've seen a couple of times already in my dreams. And it has its own certain geography to it, which I think is significant. Um, now, okay, first things first. Um, let's say this right here is the house where I grew up when I was a kid. For some reason, this place where the dream happened, and this place that I've seen a couple of times is like right behind this building. So the main entrance is like here, and then there was a back entrance here with I don't know, a little yard with flowers and so on over here, a little entrance place, right? Uh, a walkway here, not a car road. At least I don't think so. I think you could just, it's only for pedestrians. And then here somewhere is a public school, which I did not go to, but I think my father went to when he was a kid. I'm not sure. Anyway, and here is like a little fence, right? It goes like this. Another road here, also not a car road. Um, and here's like a big playground. This is the playground, right, of the school. But the school is actually like way further that way. It wouldn't be this close to well, at least the main building of the school, if I remember correctly. I have not been there in years. So the place I want to describe is right here. It doesn't actually exist in real life, just to be clear. So you wouldn't find it here. Here's just a playground. But in the dream I saw, it was right there, right behind the house where I grew up in. It was rainy, dreary day, and I was here with a friend, a girl, who was actually the same friend who's coming over tomorrow. Um, but that's besides the point. How do can I like make this bigger? Like, wait, because I need more space to draw over. Like, like this. Let me go over here. Okay. So, what was the place like? Um, it is, well, basically that place, it's a very old, abandoned, ruined castle, seemingly. I wouldn't call it a medieval European castle. I couldn't really describe it in any particular way, in architectural terms. Like, it's not a type of building that really exists. I think, well, I would compare it to maybe like the old Middle American like Indian ruins, like pyramids in or South American, like the pyramids in Peru. Except it's not a pyramid, but it is made of the same type of material, like large gray stones, overgrown. So you can imagine moss and trees and vines and mushrooms growing everywhere. And it was a very dreary evening, very cloudy, but no rain. And me and my friend went to this place. And okay, where do I start? So first of all, there's like a there's like a courtyard over here, quite large. I would say like if I had to draw a human for scale, maybe like this big, maybe smaller, a little smaller, like this would be a human for scale. And this is like a stone fence. So this courtyard, you can imagine like stone pavement over here, also made of these large stone blocks. I'm not gonna draw the whole thing. Um, and with different little statues standing over here of animals, if I remember correctly, and torches on the walls. And I think this whole place was like half um half underground. So like when you're standing here, you're not on the ground level, but like one level below. Sort of, it's like a pit dugout, or maybe like they were. You can imagine that there are hills over here behind the fence and trees. There a lot of trees. Uh, it's a very overgrown place. Um, but that's just the inner yard, and here you have a long stone gallery with archways. Here, nothing, but I guess an archway over here where you can go through, and an archway over here. Here, it just kind of goes into nothing, and here as well, it just kind of ends. But this one is covered. This one has a roof. Also, torches hanging inside there. And yeah, and here there's like a little hole in the wall, which me and my friend climbed through, right? And this hole leads further up, like one floor above. Um it's not like it's a hole in the wall at about the chest level, so you have to jump up to get through. And when you're up there, get out of the way. When you're up here, there's like a little green hill going up. But still everywhere there are like ruins and like pieces of walls and so on, but no roof here. Here, there's a hill. This is a terrible diagram, but you can imagine that this is a hill. Um, how do like I can try to draw a topographical map and I fail immediately. It's like the worst topographical map ever. But this is a hill, um, which when you climb it, it's like another two floors, right? And I guess before there were stairs over here. This was inside of the castle, and there were stairs. Um, so you didn't have to climb the hill. And then, but when you reach here, like a couple of floors above, there are big rooms here with large pillars, no roof. Um, the roof has caved in. Uh, and I didn't remember the layout exactly. A bunch of rooms everywhere. Um, very, very tall ceilings. Very tall walls. But once again, no roof and torches everywhere. Don't ask why the torches are still lit. Um, Video game logic, I guess. Um, so we went through a bunch of these rooms until we reached this area right here. Now, this area right here is creepy. And remember, this You cannot see it on this top view, but this over here is already like a couple of floors above this courtyard here, right? So we would be looking at the courtyard from the top, except here is a very solid wall, very tall. You cannot see anything. Actually, this whole room has very solid, tall walls. I think there's an entrance over here, which is how we came through, an exit over here, maybe another exit over here. Okay. So, and this place is a kind of a temple or a church or something because there's an elevated area here, right? Which is kind of like an altar and an altar table right in the middle, very long. This area is a bit lower below, but it's not exactly like a church because a church is long like this with an altar over here and you have like you know side parts, so the church is shaped like a cross, but whatever. But this place is shaped like this. Um, go away, whatever. Um, and this whole room was very creepy. There were statues everywhere, like everywhere. There was a statue, and all of the statues depicted terrible, horrifying creatures like demons and monsters and goat heads and all this sort of stuff. And I found this place extremely, extremely unsettling. There was a very strong evil vibe coming from this room in particular. And there was this altar thing, and my friend stopped over here. I was over here, so like imagine me being standing right here, already wanting to leave this place because um I want to go through this exit, and there is another sort of like grassy area over here and another hill which goes down. And I wanted to just go like this and jump down over the wall here into the courtyard. But my friend, she was standing right here and she didn't want to go away because she placed some object or took some object from the altar. And it was either a book or a mirror or a metal plate. And she said, I was like, oh man, I really want to leave. Like, I don't want to be here. This place is horrible and it's really creepy. And I like, can we just go? I'm not vibing with this at all. But she insisted on staying there. And she looked at me and she said, and remember, there are like statues of demons everywhere. And this place exudes a horrifying vibe. Um, but she's like, no, come here. I will show you who you really are. And she started manipulating the object on the table. And there were like a bunch of like stone spikes on the altar and chandeliers and things like that, candle holders, I guess. And it was horrifying. I was like, no, please, please, can we just go? Like, I really don't want to be here. And in the end, she gave in, but she didn't want to exit through this way. We had to go all the way back, like through here, here, and then down here. So I have no idea what it was about, but I've seen this place, these ruins, in my dreams before. Because here, like around this area, highlight it, it's like main area of the castle. It has levels to it. It goes way down. It goes very deep down. It has floors and floors and floors, and it goes very deep on the ground with massive hallways, massive holes rather. Um, which in my previous dreams I've seen. I've never been like all the way down to it. I've tried in some of my dreams, I've tried going down a couple of levels underground, and what I've seen were um halls with fires lit in them and large groups of people um performing what I can describe as sort of rituals. I don't know what it was. And I was sneaking in the corridors there, in the shadows, trying to hide from them. And I know that it goes way, way, way deeper down. Like, imagine you're in a room, right? I don't know, this is a room. I don't know, whatever. And then you come to the corner over here, and there's like a tiny hole, and you climb through it. Like a couple of bricks are missing. You climb through it, and inside there's another even bigger room in there, like underground, and it keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper, and they are all completely dark and empty, and there's nothing in them. Like at some point, you reach a level where there are no more people, no more fires, no more activity, just vast, vast emptiness. And some of these rooms are of an absolutely gargantuan size. Like they are enormous. Um, but that's what I saw in previous dreams, not the one I've seen this time. But funny enough, when we exited the place and we were in this hallway area, there were a bunch of people here as well. There was an old woman with a bunch of children, and they were from an anti-car movement. Huh? Very random, but they were like, "Hey, do you want to get a bicycle driving license?" We're like, "For bicycle driving license." I'm like, "What? You don't need a license to drive a bicycle. That's ridiculous." And I had these like stickers, which is like a triangle, with a bike on it and in a blue background. And ooh, I don't remember what it was, but they were an anti-car movement, sort of. And I don't know what they were doing there. It's a really creepy place. At least the castle itself, this like courtyard and this hallway are not that creepy. But yes, that's the dream. And yeah, horrifying, 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 horrifying. This is a terrible illustration. This looks like I have schizophrenia, but this looks more normal. So all of this, this looks so bad when I look when you like scroll here and you're like, this was supposed to be a layout, a top view layout of a place, but something has gone terribly wrong with my drawing. But anyway, this whole place, including the courtyard, is this block right here, like this area right here, which doesn't make sense because this area in real life is much smaller than it couldn't house a an ancient abandoned castle with underground chambers. But whatever, who cares? This is not drawn to scale. I saw another horror dream this night, actually. Oh, and I wish I remembered it more of it, but I do remember that there were two rooms and there were lots of people in there, and I was there with somebody as well, a girl, as usual. There's always a female companion in my dreams. Don't ask why. It's always somebody different, and most of the times it's not romantic or sexual at all. It's just there's always a female companion in my dreams. Um, but these rooms had were red or like light purple is what I remember, and they were lavishly decorated in an old-fashioned 19th century style. And what I remember is that here were a bunch of chairs along the walls. These are supposed to be chairs. Don't ask. Um, and oh, I don't remember what it was, but I started getting suspicious in this room, and then we went through to this room, and there was a large table in the middle, and something freaked me out. Some of the people like had a really creepy vibe there. I don't know what it was. It was a very vivid dream, but I don't remember the details. Something scared me, so we ran away, and then we were hiding, and like here there was like a very it was like a crawl space. It was really the size of a room, but the ceiling was like 1 meter tall, even less. So you had to crawl on your fours to get through it. And I remember there were lots of spiders. I could feel spiders crawling all over my head because you crawl into there and there are spider webs everywhere and tiny spiders. And as you crawl through, you just get spiders in your hair. It was horrifying. And then uh, somebody was chasing us, and as I tried to leave, there was a big spider hanging in my way, a massive, like, not a tarantula, but more like a house spider, like those tiny guys, like those little guys with long legs and so on. It was brownish, but it was huge. It was like oh, more than the size of, well, like maybe the size of a human palm. And it was hanging there, and I had to crawl through it and touch it with my head, and it was horrible. I woke up because of that. So yeah, two horror dreams for the price of one. Oh man, what is this? Abomination. You know, look at this plan instead. Anyway, that was it. I'm gonna go sleep.